Hey guys, this is Bruce, and today we're talking about an endpoint cybersecurity consulting job in Sacramento, California. It's a 6-month contract. Here's the job right here. You want to look at it? There it is right there. But before we start, you should know that if you're interested in getting into cybersecurity, go ahead and check my link below. Sign up for it. Enrollment is free, and I have free downloadable stuff that you can look at. There's some stuff that I put on there that I don't necessarily put here. And let's get into this. All right. So first off, the reason why I do these, where I'm going into my inbox and showing you guys like what kind of jobs that I get offered, is twofold. There's two reasons I do it. Number one, if you're new to this whole game, and you're trying to get into cybersecurity, which I get a lot of people contacting me about this. They maybe have an IT experience or whatever, and they're trying to get into cybersecurity because they see how well it's paid, how stable some of these positions are, and they just want in. I get some of those folks, and I get people who don't know anything. They hate their job, and they're looking at cybersecurity and like, man, that looks like a pretty good position right there. It's like something I want to get into. It looks exciting. I want to learn something new, and I want to get into it. So I'm doing this for you guys to show you like what are employers looking for, what do they want, and then also the experts, the people who've been doing this for a while. They watch this because they want to know like what's going on or whatever. For you guys, this might be an opportunity for you. If you look through all of the jobs I've put out there, I've got all kinds of cybersecurity jobs. I got help desk jobs. I got system admin jobs all over the country, mostly in the United States. Not that many that I've talked about. I can't even think of one that I've talked about outside the United States. So that's the two reasons I do it. One, for newbies who want to know like what are employees looking for, what kinds of stuff do you want to put on your resume. It's detailed in these videos that I do, and also for experts who actually might want to just go ahead and apply for these jobs. All right, let's do it. So they're saying I'm hiring a consultant for one of my client's requirements. The job description for the same is written below. If you find yourself comfortable with the requirements, please contact me back, and they put their number there, but I will also put the contact information below, so don't worry about trying to capture it on the screen or whatever. Job title is Endpoint Cybersecurity Consultant, and we're going to talk about exactly what they want from you. And it's in Sacramento, California, and it's 6 months, a 6-month contract. So the ideal candidate has 5 years of experience with perimeter cybersecurity. 5 years of experience with perimeter cybersecurity is things like on the edge of your network. That's like firewalls. That's like DMZs. That's like stuff where external sources are coming into your network. That's what perimeter cybersecurity means. With a focus on designing, deploying endpoint security solutions. Okay, so that's their ideal candidate. They're not saying you must have it, but the person who's going to be to the top of their list is somebody with 5 years or more of perimeter experience. But mandatory qualifications, let's talk about that. These are things that you have to have. Minimum of 5 years experience, of which 3 years must be lead capacity. So they're looking for a leader here, somebody who's in a leadership position for 3 years, because probably you're going to have people underneath you, or you're going to have other people who are going to be looking to you for more support. This is not an entry-level position, and they want experience in designing, developing an endpoint security infrastructure, and developing procedures for defining their use to meet business requirements, whatever those might be. A minimum of 3 years of experience, combined experience in designing, integrating device vulnerability scanning, security system, software, certificate authority, two-factor authentication, patching, security information, and or event manager. A minimum of 3 years of experience, combined experience with antivirus, mobile device management, encryption, in transit. And then they say desired. So this is not mandatory, but these are things that they want. First off, let me just kind of comment on these things. This is a high level person that they want with a very mixed experience level, a high amount of mixed experience. So I would say even if you have half of these, I would go for it. And the reason, let's say you have these first two, but you don't have this last one. Like you don't have any mobile device management. You don't have, and I know they say mandatory, but the thing is this is a hard person to find. So this is not an easy person to find. So a lot of times, and I'm saying this because I've been in a position where I'm actually helping employers or organizations hire people. And what happens is you don't have, there's just not a lot of people who do what we do. You know, there's just not a lot. And so the client will say, I want you to have everything. I want you to know everything. It's like, dude, that's not, you know, normally a person is very deep in one thing and they have a little experience in these other things. So what I'm telling you is, if you have even half of these things, or if you have an extreme amount of one, I would still contact them and say, hey, I have this one. I have 10 years of experience lead in a leading capacity, and I know a lot about endpoint security infrastructure. 10 years, but I don't know about MDM, that's mobile device management, and I haven't done a lot of patching. Do you still have something for me? You know, that's kind of what you can do, you know. Or if you have half of these things, I would go for it. Okay, so these are desired qualifications. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm just kind of going to skim through the things that kind of stand out to me. I see certain things that they want specifically is this McAfee Fire. They want 3 years of experience with malware endpoint protection. McAfee. So that's telling me that they're using a McAfee product for endpoint protection, but they're specifically FireEye. 3 years of experience with routers and switches, layer 3 microsegmentation, firewall, policy administration, and load balancers. Yeah, this is very heavy on perimeter type stuff. I would go in really, I mean, it sounds like from what I'm reading here that you need to have a pretty solid understanding of perimeter type stuff from a security perspective. 3 years of experience combined related to hypervisor, which is like a virtual system, DNS, identity, RBAC. RBAC is role-based access control, directory services, multi-factor authentication, IDS, IPS, virtual private networks, DMZ and or encryption, and at-rest data and in-transit data. This is a lot. So they're really expecting a pretty high level. And I met people like to have all this stuff. I met people who have all this stuff. It's just rare. It's just rare. And normally when those people come in, they hold on to them because it's a really hard to find people that have this level of experience. They do exist, but it's just not, you know, you just don't find these guys everywhere. So like I said, if you even have some of these, like, I would go for it. I would just at least ask, you know, what's the harm in asking? Okay, desired soft skills are, they want you to have written communication skills, highly motivated, ability to take initiative, exercise judgment, flexible with a can-do attitude. Essential security endpoint job responsibilities are going to be essential security endpoint and operational duties. You're going to do essential SIEM, vulnerability and incident duties. SIEM, I didn't see a SIEM up here. Did they ask for a SIEM? Yeah, I guess they did. Security, information, and event manager. Okay, that was one of the desired qualifications. 4 years of experience with that. Okay, let's keep going here. Security compliance. That's like knowing the regulations. If there's state or federal regulations that you need to know, that's what security. It's like you have a set of security requirements in your organizations that have to line up with a state or local or county or federal stuff. So they want you to know that, to have an experience with, really it's just best practices, but there's certain regulations that you can, and this is something that you can, if you have all these technical skills, you can pick this up pretty fast. Security, leadership, mentor, and guidance. So there's, again, they kind of mentioned leadership a few times here. They kind of mentioned the verbal skills, like some leadership quality. So it seems like this is going to be like a leadership type position. Fully fluent in English, or both written and verbal. So this is telling me that you don't have to have a security clearance. You don't have to have, not saying anything about being an actual U.S. citizen. So that's actually all positive things for a more open job. So that's it, guys. That's all we got today. If you're interested in this position, once again, I'll put all the contact information below. If you're interested in my course that I mentioned in the beginning of this, that's also going to be in the description below. And that's all we have for now. See you later.